they do that. You know how they cover up their one eye?
Oh yeah.
That mean that means two things. That means watch out you don't get the lizard to stick the thing in the eye, or like well, it means a couple different things to different people. It means like don't you only half see things, and I always figured it was the lizard in the eye thing because I
I've
got
seen
introduced.
I've seen so many artists and pictures of them doing the triangle around the eye sort of thing.
Oh yeah,
Like you do your thumbs and your index fingers together, and just look through and put your hands together and just look through them like that. And your other fingers
well
sort
if
of look like sun rays coming out, sort of thing. I've seen so many artists
yep.
do that.
Well, the thing with the pyramid in the eye thing is the whole symbol is a joke. It's once you know what the pyramid is for, then you know when you're pretty much Illuminati. But I'm going to break that whole thing right now. I'm going to ruin it. Um, you got to look on my page and look at the schematics for the pyramid. I explain what it's for. It was basically a Vril trap. It's a giant cockroach trap for Vrils. Okay, these little vents that went in, they were at an angle. They were lined with smooth limestone, and anything that went in didn't come out because these crab nasties claws. Well, that's what I call them, crab nasties, the Vrils. I've been calling them that my whole life. They couldn't scramble back up and out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll actually hold that thought. Hold that thought about the crab nasties, and we'll be right back after the break at the VinnyEastwoodShow.com, ladies and gentlemen, with Donald Marshall. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vinny Eastwood Show, broadcasting live from the Chateau de Rothschild on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. We're talking about organized crime today. Indeed, the crime, the very nasty, particular scumbaggery element of human cloning with my very special guest, Donald Marshall. Welcome back.
Okay. So these people, you heard about the celebrities selling their souls to the place. So that's what they're doing. They're selling themselves to be used as clones at the cloning center. Now the thing is, after a while, they have kids, and they want to bring their kids there too to induct them into the family, right? They just want to perv on them, and they're all too scared to say no. And they do bring their kids there and mess them all up to keep them memory repressed and just mess with them. And then they do all kinds of stuff with different technologies that they have there. Like I'm trying to, like I know about a bunch of different technologies they have, and I wanted to tell everyone about it, but not enough time on your show to tell about all of it. So I'm trying to tell about the most important things: the cloning lizards. Oh, and the head chips. I didn't tell you about the head chips, but to the Vrils, the three different types. The small ones they use to drone people, to host people, because the proboscis on young lizard type ones, they're small enough to go into an eye and not ruin the eye, right? Because they're supposed to do this to animals with bigger eyeballs, probably freaking dinosaurs. But yeah.
Hey,
So
speaking of Type 1, I've had a request from Sonic, who's a radio show host with a Type 1 radio lounge, and he wants to bring you on his show very soon. You'd be willing to do that, wouldn't you?
sure.
Okay, cool. Well, I've already shared your contact details. It's sort of a misnomer. But anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
Excellent. So these lizards, it squiggles in, the thing takes over, total domination, right? Old person dies, and it becomes a totally compliant slave, basically. Does whatever the people want it to do because it's just happy to live life as a human being now, right? It's totally coherent, and it knows that its life is dependent on it mimicking human behavior, so it does really well. Even with other animals, it's smart enough to instinctually mimic the animal's behavior, right? It incorporates that animal's brain to, I don't know, it just takes over in the worst way. It's a parasitic lizard. It's nasty. Now, the head chip thing, man, I know this is a lot. Like, I had to explain about all this stuff, my total disclosure and phases, because I didn't want to lump it all out in at one time for people, because it's
Well,
way
you're afraid
hard.
they'd think you were crazy. I mean, it doesn't matter, man. I mean, like, as far as most people are concerned, you know, as soon as you opened your mouth, it's insanity. Whereas, I don't like to judge people like that after the first word that they say. I like to hear them
Yeah,
out. Okay.
yeah. Well, okay, a bunch of billionaires were scared about dying. They said they were so rich they can make people die, they can start wars, they can do anything in the material world, but once they die, they can't even take it with them. They're just dead, right? So a bunch of billionaires got together and said, we don't want to die. We want to figure out how to live again as clones, right? Thing is, they the clone is just like a negative copy of the person, though. So it's not even like the person living. It's a flawed copy.
Like a
So the
ghost.
thing is, what they do, they devised a way. I don't know how. The thing used to be as big as a circuit board, like that was not an Illuminati symbol, by the way. It's like a
About the
square.
size of
Okay.
a fist, right?
Yeah, they tested this on a Chinese farmer. They showed me the video clips. Had it sticking out the guy's head and everything. Didn't compensate him, just sent him back home. Said they had to do something to him. They whittled it down so that the microchip is supposedly the size of like just a bit bigger than an apple seed, right? And it can it can totally, and it's a flawed copy as well, but not as flawed. It can totally hold your mental stuff, right? Everything that you are basically, but they need babysitters because they go pretty whack sometimes. They're missing some stuff. It's flawed. But the thing is, just like those lizards do with the eyeball thing and squiggling into the head, rich people can put their stuff on a microchip and set this into somebody's head and basically body snatch them that way as well. And they keep it secret because, of course, everyone. Oh, they can do it to clones too, but there's more side effects if you put it into a clone's brain. So they basically body snatch people with chips in the head. And the lizard thing, they tried to convince me that, and others, that it was a worldwide takeover thing, that they had already taken over so much that all was lost. You better just go along with it. But that's not true. They're a very, very small part of the population, like under 5% or something. But they drone people like beautiful women, and then have the drones marry these men, that whoever wants this woman, and they don't care that it's a lizard consciousness. They just do it, and it's still murdering the other person though. And it's pretty sick. So I had to tell the world, and yeah, I'm expecting to be killed. Really.
Well, hold on.
That
Can I just get clarification on something? Because you said that they can't kill you or they won't kill you or something like that before,
Yeah, okay.
but now you're saying they probably will. I don't see the connection.
Okay, I'll get to that part. That's the part that, even with the crazy sounding stuff that I've told you already, this is another crazy aspect of it. Okay. The thing is, with all the songs that I made at this place, and they were bringing me back every single night and saying, sing a song or we're going to torture you. Next night, sing a song, we're going to torture you. Sometimes I couldn't think of anything, and they would just like stab me and watch me bleed there. And now they're all watching like it's a bizarre Faces of Death thing. And different people want to know what it's like to stab someone, so they send them out to stab me while I'm on drugs so I won't hit them or something. It's like that. It's pretty sick. And, well, I have to tell you, Queen Elizabeth is there. Stephen Harper, Canadian Prime Minister. Obama is there. Vladimir Putin is there. The Pope is even there. All kinds of heads of different factions of different things. The head of the Mexican drug cartel is there. Mafia in Italy is there. Man, everybody is there. It's like the rich guy's crazy club that'll never get caught. And you have to be real privileged to go there. Well, I don't want to go there. And I'm not privileged there. I'm pretty low on the totem pole there, actually, probably the lowest. So anyway, they all threatened me never to talk about it, and along as I've been divulging this stuff on Facebook, they've been bringing me there and threatening me and stuff. And then asking me not to mention them specifically, what they have done there and stuff, and panicking really, and trying to deter me with stabbing my clones there, burning the clones and everything. And I'm telling you, it's like real. It's clear as day. It's not like having a dream unless they drug you. If you're there, you're totally coherent, and you can't pinch yourself and wake up or slap yourself, or people would. And I don't know of a way to block this consciousness transfer to the clones. Otherwise, I would, like being in a tinfoil room or something. I don't. I don't know if there is a way to block it. If there is, they haven't told me. But anyway, they're all there, and since I was a kid, after I started making songs when I was about 5. By the time I was hitting about 8 years old, they were saying, I don't even want to say because it's over the top ridiculous, and I don't want to even endorse this stuff that they say, but they said it was possible that I could be the comeback messiah for the end times to save the world. And I said, no, that's not true. I'm just a guy that's going to expose your lizards and your cloning, and you guys aren't going to bring me here anymore. And I got all the info when they thought that I was absolutely loyal to them, okay? For years, I acted loyal to them. I even had to almost give myself Stockholm Syndrome to make myself believe that I liked them, because my family members were there. So my mother was there even. So, and they can give you sodium pentothal truth serum to see into your clone, to see if you will talk about them, if you're unmemory repressed or unrepressed memory, and you'll be able to remember all the clone stuff. But once you're unrepressed memory, you always remember everything. They can't keep your memory away from you then when they bring you there. So they only unrepress people that are real ironclad loyal. It also makes you smarter as a clone when you are unrepressed memory. So they wanted me to be unrepressed memory so I could think up better lyrics for songs, because they've given me adrenaline injections there. Like, I've never had that in real life, but they feel really good. They're adrenaline injections. And I've never done cocaine in real life, but they made me do cocaine there so I could do speed rappy stuff, because like Busta Rhymes type of stuff. Just can't do that like just off the bat. But that stuff really speeds you up. It actually gave my clone a heart attack a couple times. But yeah, they're all like, we're so powerful, we're going to get caught doing this. No one's ever going to believe anyone. But that's because everyone else only had half of the story. After years of playing friends with them, they told me everything because they wanted to be really cool with me. They wanted me to like them because I made their favorite song, like the Top Gun theme song. Made that, right? When I'm there. And they're all the politicians want to be cool with me because the celebrities think that I'm amazing and stuff. And they think I'm amazing too, right? Coming up with a song out of thin air like that. I put a bunch of references in songs. Other people have in the past too, like back in the 80s, this band called Heart made this song called Dreams. These dreams go on when I close my eyes type. And it's talking about the cloning station when you're a clone there. But they tell people that it's the other dimension or astral plane, so that if they ever go to the police, they'll say, help, I'm going to the other dimension. And then that's not true, right? You want us to police another dimension, right? But it's not another dimension or the astral plane. It's just the cloning station, like the Brown something massacre, Brownsville massacre down in Texas somewhere. Well, that was all about them. The children of the fold got murdered, a big religious cult. They all got murdered and chopped up. Well, the fold was the cloning station, and they were going there and getting freaked on by a bunch of elderly, rich perverts. And then they didn't want to anymore, and they said, leave us alone. We have computers. We're going to tell all about the fold. And they went there, killed them all. The Picton stuff was really unsettling, disturbing, because Elizabeth wanted to be real close on hand to me because everybody wanted to look at me, talk to me, and I was like focused on with the spotlight there at this place because I did these songs and different money-making ideas for different people. So she always wanted to be around me to get in on the spotlight. She's like that. She's like a camera hand for all the celebrities that are there. So she was always around me. Now, the thing is, she said to strengthen my mind, she wanted me to watch all of the Picton murders and they had a camera in the corner of the room where he did these murders. The thing was, he would walk a woman, the hooker, over to a painting on the wall, facing that way, and say, "Do you like this painting? My brother painted it for me." Put his arm around the woman, and with his other hand, he'd reach in back of his pants and pull out a ball peen hammer and smack her right in the back of the head.